Tonight, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Take a look.
We should be asking ourselves a bigger question about the weaponization of the Department of Justice. When I'm president, the first thing I'll do is fire Merrick Garland. Second thing I'll do, fire Christopher Wray, because we need Lady Justice to wear a blindfold. Without that, no one has confidence in our justice system. 17% of Republicans have confidence in our Department of Justice. Here's why. We keep seeing not only the weaponization of the Department of Justice against political opponents, but also against parents who show up at school board meetings. They're called, under this DOJ, they're called domestic terrorists.
All right, joining us now, Senator Tim Scott, senator from the great state of South Carolina. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing really well, man.
Glad to see Lindsay's not here for you.
Thank God.
That's true. You're on the stage tonight. How did you feel?
I felt really good. I felt like I wanted to have a conversation, an adult conversation, about why America can do for anyone what she's done for me. We need to focus on restoring hope, creating opportunities, and protecting America. We didn't spend enough time talking about the challenge we have at our southern border. We didn't talk long enough about the challenges that we have with China. It's not the strength of China, it's the weakness of Biden that's the problem that we face as a nation. We need to dig into some of the most important consequential issues facing the American people and not have a food fight on the stage.
You know, one of the things that stood out to me is a point that I often make, that on average, the average American household is paying nearly $10,000 more for the same items that they were paying when Donald Trump left office on January, 20th of
You're 100% right.
2021. So my point is, and then you have 61% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. Then you have $54,000 average American debt. How do you climb out from under that? Or bare necessities, people throwing it on their credit card. That is real suffering, and it's a lot of it's self-induced because of Biden's energy and economic policy.
Absolutely. Number one, we have to know that energy security is national security, but it's also one of the parts of my 10 million new jobs made in America plan, where we could have 3 million new jobs in the energy sector. Right. America would be the leading country on earth if we had a president who believed in our national energy resources. If we had that, we would rise to the top, because we have more energy when you add oil, gas, and coal. Listen, Africa, India are going to continue to see the carbon footprint explode because they have tons and tons of people living in poverty. Why not use our resources to meet their needs and create
gas is going back up to $4 a gallon.
11-month high.
Okay, 11-month high, and Donald Trump in his years as president, it never went above $3 a gallon. Never reached $3 a gallon.
In December of 2020, in South Carolina, the gas price was $1.99.
Those are called the good old days, right?
Those are the good old days.
Those are the good old days.
We can get them back, though. We have to have a president who believes in our own energy resources.
Okay, so you talked about firing Director Wray. You talked about Merrick Garland and getting rid of him. You said we'll get rid of no IRS agents. We'll hire them for the border.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, do you believe that our Department of Justice and our FBI have been politicized and weaponized? What is the main reason you would fire them?
100% they have been weaponized. We know now that Lady Justice no longer can find the blindfold. When you watch what this Department of Justice has done against political opponents, you would consider that unethical and immoral. When you think about what it's done to parents just showing up and saying, I want my child educated, not indoctrinated, you would call this Department of Justice immoral. Right. When you see a SWAT team show up at a pro-life activist home with guns drawn, you'd call that immoral, irresponsible, and unacceptable. What we know as Americans, we must trust our Department of Justice. It is un-American and unacceptable to see what Joe Biden, Merrick Garland, and Christopher Wray has done to the DOJ, and most importantly, to the American people's confidence in the Department of Justice.
By the way, I won't admit publicly that when we had a throwing contest at the town hall that you threw further than me. That's just not going to come out of my mouth.
Absolutely not.
We'll keep it a secret. Senator, always good to see you, my friend.